Hi everyone, welcome to the 13th episode of Coding Club, and today we're going to be learning how to create integer arrays in Java. So let's start off by creating a new class in default package, and I'm going to call this games array. And I'll check public static void main and click finish. So let me state what the problem is about. The problem states, how many games do you own? Prompt 10 users for their number of games that they own and store this data in an integer array. Print the data in the end. So this is a pretty simple program. So make sure if you guys want to, you can add your name to this stub here, just a comment. And let's initialize an array. So I'll do int, and to initialize an array, you do int and then you put brackets. And then you can name this whatever you want. I'm going to name it games. I'm going to name it number of games actually. This would be equal to new int, and then you put the brackets. Actually, I think you put the number here, so let's say 10, and then you put a semicolon. So that's how you initialize an array. So that basically creates an array with 10 spots, because we're going to be prompting 10 users. And then after that, we can create a for loop. For int I equals 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus, and then in here we can prompt users for whatever. So let me also create an integer int individual games. I don't know, that's way too long, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so we can say oh yeah, we also have to import keyboard reader because we are doing user input. So keyboard reader equals new keyboard reader. And then once you do that, you can click the light bulb and click import. Double click that. And then inside the for loop, we can create a sysout statement. So system.print, and we're not doing the ln because we're going to be doing user input. And how many games does user? And I'm gonna like, you know, I'll have the counter basically make it so I could like how many games does user 1 own, how many games does user 2 own. So I'll do user, and then I'll do I, because I is this number here. But instead of it just being I have to do I plus 1. And I'll do that in parentheses because we're already having plus signs, you know, like right here. You get the plus sign there when we're like adding in like an integer along with a string. So how many games is user space, and then we end the code and then we do plus, and then in parentheses we do I plus 1, and then we put the parentheses, we close parentheses, and then we add another plus sign, and then we could put quotes space own. And then put another space because we're leaving space for the user input. And then once we do that, we can do individual games is equal to reader dot read int. And once it does that, it's gonna like run this 10 tabs. So when I is equal to 0, when I is equal to 1, all the way to when I is equal to 9. And when I reaches 10 is not less than 10, so then the loop ends. Create a second for loop. So for, I can just copy and paste this whole line. So, and you can use this again because, you can use I again because I is a local variable here. So I basically just like goes away afterwards. So we're going to reintroduce I again. So for I equals 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus, we will do sys out. And when we sys out, we will do in quotes we'll do user, and then we'll end the quotes, so we'll do plus, and we'll do the same thing as here, we'll do I plus 1. And then once we do that, we'll add a plus, and here we're going to do \t because we need to create a tab. So \t, and then once we do \t, we will do how many they own. So we'll add another plus sign, and then we have to kind of call the, we have to call the first spot and we have to put that in a print statement, the first spot of the array. Because remember, we're kind of filling up the array here. And oh, I see I made a mistake. I forgot to fill up the array with the variables. So we will do number of games, and in here we will just put I. So number of games I. That's kind of the index for the array. So number of games I is equal to individual games. And semicolon. Okay, that works. And we will do the exact same thing here. We'll just do number of games I. And right there. And I think this should actually work. So let's run this. Well, before I do that, let me actually put a colon there just to make it look nice. So let's run this. And I'll just make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it works, as you can see, except that this one kind of broke. And to fix it, it's a little bit odd. I'll make it so that only 9 people can be surveyed. Because if I make it 10, then it just gets all wonky and you get this whole gap. So just make it 9. Let me first run this. Just gonna make sure that this works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And yep, it works. So it shows how many games each user owns. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.